Hey everybody, Kneecap here. This video is about kind of an update on my status of what I'm going to be doing with my characters and just where I'm at right now. I made a video prior and some people kind of wanted to stay in the loop on this, so basically to sum it up, if you haven't seen the video before, um, I found myself in a precarious position to where, I'm wanting to do high-end mythic rating, very endgame stuff, especially for my YouTube channel, and just frankly for my own personal gratification. That's kind of what I like to do. Makes you feel, if you're spending time playing the game, you want to do whatever makes you feel accomplished while you play the game. So some people achievement hunt, some people, collect pets or whatever. But what really makes me feel gratification in game is really high end rating, accomplishing hard things. So that's was my goal. Um, the guild that I had transferred my old guild to kind of fell apart. A lot of their core members were leaving. I think there's a lot of tension maybe between some of them after a while, just probably from not progressing fast enough or at all for a little while. And so a lot of their core members left, and this guild was just kind of, it was basically, where my old guild was, to where they could do heroic stuff, but definitely couldn't even ever think about going into mythic as presently constituted. So I ended up leaving the guild just on my alt character, on my warrior, and I tried to join a guild that raided a little bit later to where I could at least attempt to raid on both characters. I was trying to do it the best I could, while looking out for myself, but trying not to throw them under the bus, basically. And I whispered an officer first and let him know, hey, I'm just leaving on my alt so I can raid on him as well. So and granted, it would be a lot easier for me to get into mythic raiding with the character that's already geared, but I mean that's the character I signed up to join their guild with. So anyways, a bunch of drama ended up happening that night. They demoted me, and one of them unfriended me on Battle.net, the former GM of the guild, who I mean I didn't even realize. I don't know. It was just really drama filled. It's not really stuff that I like to normally get involved in. It's not drama. Like I'm a drama killer, kneecap killer, but I'm also a drama killer. Back in like school days, if some drama popped up, I'd be the one to raise my voice and be like, "Hey, this is stupid. Let's cut it out." So a bunch of drama happened. I actually lost my temper that night as well, and which I actually apologize for that, but I lost my temper, and I ended up just leaving the guild. I let them all know, I'm just looking for something else. This just isn't going to work for me here, especially not with that drama aspect to it. So right now, my paladin, I haven't looked yet, but my paladin's guildless, and my warrior's in a pretty good guild. There's 7/7 EN and 1 of 3 TOV, so not bad. I don't have a raid spot with them yet, but I'm working on that. I'm also noticing that there aren't very many high-end Fury Warriors, so I'm either going to carve out that niche and be the top Fury Warrior in the world, or I might have to go arms, so we'll see where that goes. And as far as my Paladin, now that he's guildless, I might try to find a guild that works for both of these characters, because it wouldn't work for my Paladin in this current guild, and I haven't dedicated anything to this guild, and they don't rely on me or anything, so it's not a big deal if I leave the new one that I just joined. So I might try to find a guild for both my characters, or I'm going to test out my red DPS again to see if that's if I've gotten any better at that. I was trending upwards for a long time, and I kept getting more upgrades, and my DPS did not reflect that. So we'll see if I can shore up some things on that route. Other than that, I'm still Alliance. I'm still on my server, which is horde dominated and very hard to world quest on. So I still haven't completely ruled out server transferring if it was for the right. I think what I'll have to do though is I'll have to get, I'd have to be fully geared enough to apply to a guild on another server to justify transferring. I might even just start leveling more diligently my horde character and work on him. And honestly, maybe not even until the next expansion when I can play a horde character. I'm not sure yet 100% where I'm going to go with that. But for now, I'm just going to stay on this server. I'm going to stay Alliance, and because there are 7 or 8 guilds that are high end enough to where I would feel accomplished joining them if I got to join their raid team. If I can't get into one of them, though, I'll have to go to a higher Alliance population server, and that's where I'll be. Uh, Other than that, the only other thing, just a little bit of an update is if you're doing a Mythic Keystone as a pug, don't be toxic. If you're watching this, I'm trying to gear up my warrior. I had a +7 maul, which is a really easy key. We got to hell yeah, plenty of time to 3 chests. We had like 3 to 4 minutes to kill her, I think, and and it wasn't even like a top end group or anything. And so we were doing fine to do it, and the healer just couldn't handle the boss. Died twice and ended up making it to where the key was going to be depleted. And instead of just staying and finishing, the healer goes, "Peace out, bitches," and just leaves. No one said anything completely rude to him. The mage did say "effing noobs," but I think he was talking to everybody. And I did ask the healer just one on one, why did you queue for this if you couldn't do it? Because he ruined my keystone, So I was kind of upset about that because I do try to be nice, polite to everyone else, and if I was in a group where the keystone was going to be depleted, especially if it was my fault, I would stay with them. In fact, later on the night, I ran a keystone with a friend, and WoW actually kind of bugged out on me, and I couldn't res. I pulled threat from the tank on a big AoE pull, and I couldn't res, and I had to run all the way back. I suggested that they just start doing the boss without me, and of course I didn't think about before I said that because it's one of those bosses. It's in Blackrook, the big lumbering guy who can target someone with hateful gaze, and he was targeting me even though I wasn't in the fight, and it did end up resetting him after they almost had him dead. But it's such a long run back that I had just gotten back anyways by the time it reset, so they didn't lose much time on that, but it's just it would just not let me resurrect from someone resing me, and I'm not sure why. It was very frustrating, but instead of getting 3 chests, we only got 2 chests on that. But I apologized up and down for that instead of saying "see you bitches" and just trying to screw people over. That's not cool. So I did want to add that in there, even though it has nothing to do with really my guild status or what I'm aiming to do here. But as always, thumbs up and sub. That helps me out a lot, and I appreciate it. And everyone have a good day.